I want to hear about growing up
Yeah,
and what life was like, what you were seeing, because I want to talk about the library project
yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
some point. But when did you first recognize technology was something like where was it? Were you walking down the road? Were you in a class?
Yeah.
Tell me about like growing up and when you got introduced to technology.
I was grew up in a very small village. I was born in a small village. It was a
Mm-hmm.
farming sort of um, uh, like area.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly farmers live there, and there was no technology when I was like growing up. I got to know my ABCDs alphabets in sixth grade, and even like
Hmm.
it was not even a good education. Like if you see my like from second grade to like fifth grade, sixth grade, it was very basic, elementary, just academics, and that too like um, that too like very very basic. Like that is just like um, just to start that you know
Mm-hmm.
something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was not, it won't be anywhere close to what we see here today or what
Mm-hmm.
we see in India also today, right? Because it was a rural area, and there was no good teachers available, no good facilities available,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I started my elementary education. Then I um, and it was a public school, government school, and uh, these government schools were not equipped with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Very basic.
Yeah. No computers.
Forget computers. Not
Yeah.
even like good teachers, good books. Not
Chalkboard.
even like yeah, place to like properly sit. You will just sit on the floor, right?
Wow.
So that kind of thing. No, you can't even like if I if you go deep dive into those things,
Mm-hmm.
it was like very basic that you can't even imagine, like so basic.
Mm-hmm.
But actually it prepares you for future,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you are learning practical things.
Mm-hmm.
You are going through these turbulent times. You are going through situations that you deal every day,
Mm-hmm.
like when you, and then there is no um, there is no like um, basic I would say target for you, like okay, I need to achieve, I need to top it, or I need to get good into test and all that. Every day you are facing the problems.
Yeah.
You are going yourself to the school, there's no bus or there's no parents like dropping you, all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you learn totally different kind of skills there.
Yeah.
So I think that helped me. And then I was traveling around uh, where this village was like, but again, government schools, public schools, we call them government schools in India.
Mm-hmm.
Very basic, but I was very independent
Mm-hmm.
because of that environment.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely prepared me for future. So in all this journey, I think sometimes you don't even prepare for it. It happens.
Yeah.
But you need to keep working hard. When you work hard, you learn from it, whatever you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was trying to do. So I was in this rural area, and then there's a nearby city where I went for my undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
And I
How did you know you wanted to go for an undergraduate degree? What was it in high school that sort of hit that?
So when I was in high school, again, I was working hard, and I was like sort of a student that everyone would know in that area, that this guy will top, in the area. Like it, like in India, it's a different kind of education. So like here we have school boards that you don't see like, okay, this kid is gonna top. Like we don't have the concept in US like these are the top five kids in the
Mm.
school district, 204 or 203. I
Mm.
mean, kids get grades and all that, right?
Yeah.
But there, like you have a board for each state. So like for example, Illinois will have its own board,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will have a centralized exam.
Mm-hmm.
And in that exam they will say, okay, these are the top 10 kids, top 10 like high schoolers, 10th graders, 12th graders. So and then when you are really working hard and you're really shining, people know your name, this guy may be in the top 10, right? So not in the top 10 of my state, but people knew that I would probably do best in my city.
Mm-hmm.
where I was doing the high school.
Wow.
So because I was just working hard and I was
Yeah.
paying attention, I had no like nothing to for me to entertain, right? The most entertaining part would be like biking from the small city to my village,
Mm-hmm.
getting going in the morning and getting the milk from the village, like a fresh milk for my uncle. I was living with my uncle that
Mm-hmm.
time in my during my high school days. So
That's
um
funny. I did too. I moved in with my uncle in 10th grade. Or my
okay.
no my yeah, it was my junior year in high school.
Yeah, I come from a joint family in India. So in joint families, when um, you know if I can go deep little, like the way it works, like so one of the person would be in like really deep in education, they would like equip the person.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what my grandparents were doing, and the other person would live close to home to take care of the parents, take care of the agricultural land that you have and all that.
Mm.
My grandparents like invested in both my father and my uncle,
Mm-hmm.
but then my uncle was trying my father was trying to be close to my parents, so then he sent us, me and my sister, to my uncle's place,
Mm-hmm.
like you can take care of them now. So I was like from very early childhood I was with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he played a great role in my foundation. He was a lecturer of math.
Mm.
So I spent very little time with my mom and dad, with my parents. I spent more time with my uncle and aunt. He's a principal in high school currently there in the local area, and he had like we talk a lot. He came here. I invited him here because he's like my father, right?
Wow.
So that was amazing. He loved it here, and the library create project that we have. We opened a library in his high school because I can believe him that he can manage and he can have other teachers manage it, and it can benefit more kids around it.
So maybe we'll segue
Yeah.
for just a second. So you created a found it's a 501c3 called Library Create,
Yes.
and was it your uncle's school that was that the first school that you did a library in?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then you've done 4 in
Others. Yeah.
total so far.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about that project. Why did you choose to create that 501c3?
So actually, it was created by my son, who
Hmm.
is now a senior in the college. So
So it's Nakunj?
Nikonjia. So
Yeah.
I used to spend a lot of time with them
Mm-hmm.
because my parents did not spend that much time with me. So I always had that, okay, I need to spend time with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And because my education was very independent, self driven, I managed my own. So I was spending a lot of time in creating a good foundation for my kids. So I
Wow.
spent a lot of time with my older one. I would bring library, books, a lot of books from the Yola Public Library. Would read for him every day, like 2 3 hours.
Wow.
We will finish like 20 books, 30 books, like those small books, right, for kids, right? And he would also love to kind of hear me read and all that. And he was also very interested because that's how he grew up, right?
Yeah.
I would spend time with him in sports and all that. So and then he became a very avid reader.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is he had access to those any kind of books in Yola Public Library, in his high school, the Brooks Elementary School where he went for Granger. Like everywhere you have great libraries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I think when he was in seventh or eighth grade, we went to India,
Mm-hmm.
and he visited my uncle's school where he was a principal. And there he saw these kids who have great dreams, and they're intelligent, they're asking good
Wow.
questions. But when he asked what kind of books you read, so they did not have any answer because they only had access to the academic books like
Mm-hmm.
physics, chemistry, math, English, Hindi, whatever they read.
Yeah.
But the book that is published by their board, and they just like read that book
Wow.
and prepare the answers for the exam. That's how I grew up, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
told him like this is how I grew up, where we just like have very focused academic curriculum, and then we read those, and then we prepare for final exam, right? So then I think he was like really upset that these kids should also have access to the books,
Mm-hmm.
and if something we can do. So when we came back, and they both my kids are our tennis players, they play regularly,
Mm-hmm.
they play tournaments and all that. So they thought, okay, we can maybe run a tennis camp
Mm-hmm.
for younger kids where we collect some money and send it back there, and
Mm-hmm.
then we open a library. So, and I spoke to my uncle, who is a principal there, right?
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, I can have a room open for you guys, and I will assign a teacher to make sure that he manages it, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it happened. So we
Wow.
opened this. We collected some funds here, $500 something. $500 is like a lot of money there. 40,000 rupees. You can buy many books. Um,
Where were the books purchased from?
we will so then what we did, we created sort of the list of books, and we also created little bit of framework, like how we encourage kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you read, you're on level A, level B, level C, they are awarded,
Wow.
when they reach certain level, we will encourage them to discuss what they read and how they felt about it. So the books we will purchase from city, nearby city there,
Mm-hmm.
and books are available. It's just like there's no like formal place. There are no
Mm-hmm.
libraries. There may be libraries in bigger cities, one or two,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly adult go there. There's
Yeah.
no access to books. And I'll tell you one thing, like yesterday I was invited by an organization called Inclusivity,
Mm-hmm.
where they are raising the issue of caste system. So in India, in Africa, in Europe, I was surprised to see that it's not only in India. I know there's a caste
Mm-hmm.
system, and the caste system goes like since the inception,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it has been misused as the world evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, the caste system was created based on the work you do.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a carpenter, or you are cleaning the road, or you are like fighting in a war,
Mm-hmm.
or you are like knowledgeable person who is a teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So according to your work, people were divided into different categories. But then over the time, it became by birth. So even you are a wise person, but if your father was cleaning the street, you will be called, kind of, you will be tagged in that
Mm-hmm.
bucket. So there's a lot of issue because of that, right?
Yeah.
People sometimes don't treat them well. They are not like
Mm-hmm.
equally considered or whatever. So I went there, and then I was surprised to see that it's happening across the world. It's not only
Yeah.
India.
It's
India is more visible, but it's happening across the
it's
world.
really everywhere. We just don't call it the same
Exactly,
thing, you know?
exactly. So I told them about the library create,
Mm-hmm.
that the reason we started this, because it's not only about the education of your academic, like STEM education and all that prepares you for livelihood, like you can earn some money, and you can be independent.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to provide books to these kids, future generation, where they can see the vision, they can fly, they can create wing
Yeah.
for themselves, they can see um, that this world is wrong
Yeah.
about them. If you academic books won't talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's the reason we started the library create, not only to provide access of the books to the kids, but also to make them ready for future,
Mm-hmm.
so they are away from all these stupid things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I told this guy who, Paul Devakar, he was there from India, and then there were people from Africa and Romania. In Romania, there is a community called Roma, and they are also treated very well, treated very bad.
Yeah.
So I told them that the root cause of this problem is the education, and
That's
and
it.
availability of books. So
Yeah.
that's like a little bit of
Well,
a
and that
yeah,
I think that's what we both share because for me it was the same way. Like growing up, I mean, I didn't know what college was. I had enough. I literally just had enough money to take one college course when I
yeah,
finished high school because there wasn't any planning or wasn't
yeah,
any thinking, and no one in my family had ever graduated. And I took one class, and during that class, the professor explained that he was a PhD student and what he was doing, and immediately it dawned on me like that's what I'll do.
yeah,
So it's you don't know what you don't know,
yeah,
and we need to be exposed to things,
yeah,
and so education is just exposure. But when you have that a caste system or you have a financial sort
yeah,
of people live in like I grew up in public housing, and so in public housing you don't have access to a lot
yeah,
of men
yeah.
that are mentors or
That's true.
so it really does, it was education that opened up my entire world.
Yep, that's true.
You know, short, I'll just tell you this real quickly, but I got in and I learned to fill out financial aid, you know,
Yeah.
so I could keep paying for it.
Yeah.
And I was in as an undergrad, I was double majoring, and I went in to finally see my counselor, and he looked at my, you know, my paperwork, and he said, "You have 76 hours more than you need to apply for both
Wow.
degrees." He said,
Okay.
"You need to go apply and leave." And I was like it ended
And
because I
yeah,
loved it. It was so fun to sit
yeah,
down and listen to somebody
yeah,
lecture,
yeah.
to tell a story. I really, really enjoyed education. But so let's go back to library create. What is the combination of library and create? Tell me, is that what the meaning is there?
Yeah, no, there is the vision around library create is one library at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So that means like it can create a different kind of world. It can create a vision. It can
Yeah.
create dreams.
Yeah.
And even you open one library and you can create dreams amongst like let's say 10 kids, and out of those 10 kids, if even two kids like are able to have that dream, you are changing the world, because
Yeah.
those two kids then will spread the word further. So that's the create meaning, like you're creating dreams, you're creating a new set of like ideas.
Mm-hmm. So did that come from like how do you see that story like for yourself? Because you've gone from, you know, basically from what you said was very simple education to
Yeah.
really working for some of the best companies in the world. And now
Yeah.
you're leading, you've got a $17 million budget, you've got 45 or plus people that are under
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
How is that? Do you think that's possible for everyone?
If you keep working hard,
Mm-hmm.
like in so I don't know if you know about Bhagavad Gita. It's like it's a it's a holy book
Mm-hmm.
in Hindu religion, and it has set of slokas which are like kind of um, like in Sanskrit language you can call them like verses.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the verses is that karmanyeva dhikaraste ma phalesu kadachan. That means you should only use your I think you should only pay attention to doing your duties
Mm.
and only work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the fruit of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will see different success.
Mm-hmm.
The problem happens when we always like expect something
Yeah.
when we do
Right.
something, right?
Yeah.
So I think I like that, and I followed in my life
Mm-hmm.
where I just work hard. Whatever is given to me, I do it best.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people, like if even you are given to dig something on the road or anywhere, do it with your best effort and you will
Mm-hmm.
see the result. That's what I have been doing, because there was hunger in me, because I did not have access to things.
Mm-hmm.
And that hunger also creates opportunities for you, because then you're not sitting idle. Like two examples I'll give you from this year, which which shared with you earlier when you were giving me the tour of this exciting facility
Mm-hmm.
here. I love this. This is amazing. Like the kind of thing you built in the heart of Aurora. And this is how things happen. I don't know you had this dream before, but it happened because you
Mm-hmm.
kept working hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me also, I got my citizenship last year, and because of the library create background, we are doing a lot of work. Not only in India, we are also doing some work in the literacy in South America,
Mm-hmm.
and we are also doing a lot of work in Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I got my citizenship, I started thinking, okay, let me run for a board seat.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran for it, right, last year. And this year I ran for a marathon. I did not run marathon before, but I completed a marathon this year. I decided, couple of my friends, we met during the Martin Luther King Jr. Day in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like, hey, let's do it. We are getting old, and before our knees like
Yeah.
not supporting us, let's like try to do it. And we decided to run. And then obviously it's just not the thought, but also the preparation, the hard work, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did not worry about the result, that how the marathon will go. We were just preparing ourselves. Like I was preparing myself, like running. I started by keeping some objectives for me, like I need to run 2 miles a day every day. So 2 miles means 14 miles in a week.
Mm-hmm.
But then I decided to increase that gradually, that I will run at least 20 to 25 miles a week. So some days I would run 5 miles, some days I would run 10 miles, some days I would run at least 2 miles. I would definitely run. Like today morning I also ran 4 miles, 4.3
Wow.
miles.
Wow.
It takes, like, if you build, like if you think about it, when you wake up in the morning and if you're just running 2 miles, it would take less than 20 minutes. You are running on a slow speed.
Mm-hmm.
So between 15 to 20 minutes you can run 2 miles, but those 20 minutes we can just spend like just looking at our phone.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just take, that,
Yeah.
like, just keep working hard. So
Yeah.
I was not even able to complete the marathon, but I was able to do it in less than 4 hours, 3 hour 48 minutes or something. I was able to do it. So I think that verse that I said, Karmanyeva Adhikaraste Ma Phalesu Kadachan, like, you should pay attention to doing your job,
Yeah.
doing the work that is assigned to you, or
Yeah.
that you are interested, or that you really love, that you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
Rest everything will come its own. So, whether it's CIO of City of Aurora, which I'm really fortunate to do, because and I feel myself lucky, in this role, because the city has given me so much. I've
Mm-hmm.
spent 20 years. I landed here in 2005, and my kids, like, they are like senior in high school and college.
How many kids?
I have two boys,
Two boys.
and my younger one is rising senior at Matia Valley,
Yeah.
and my other one is doing computer science at Urbana. And both of them, like, got best of best what they wanted here in the city.
Mm.
They have their friends here. We made many friends here, and now they are family here.
Mm.
So this city has given me so much,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, okay, this is the best way of paying back, because,
Mm-hmm.
see, you should pay back through what you are best at it. So I'm best in the area of literacy, in the area of technology. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, when John reached out to me, I said, yeah, this is the best way to give back to the society. You can leave your lucrative career, and like, you can take this challenge. Sometimes I think, at least personally I feel, dealing with challenges, it is also a different kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, let's drill down in that a little bit because I'm looking back. You were at Harris Associates. That was the last role, professional
Yes.
role.
Yeah.
You were at $95 billion in assets
Yep.
that they're managing. You're in the UBS tower on Wacker.
Yeah.
That all super impressive,
Uh-huh.
right? And then before that, you were with Sapient. And I mentioned their motto, but this is, to me, I think it really is who you are. But it's that they help people thrive in the brave pursuit of next.
Yes.
So you're leaving these roles, and you were at Sapient for 15 years. So why did you come to Aurora to be the chief information officer?
Yeah, I think I was prepared. Like, I learned a lot from Harris,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, when I left, I think close to 100 billion worth of assets we were managing, with only 200 to 220 people. So amazing company. I learned how you can create value for others.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the kind of core value for us. And we were working as a small family together. They would they would care for you, like the management, and then you care for your clients,
Mm-hmm.
that you are serving. And
Mm-hmm.
you always, like, their philosophy was not to go aggressive, but remain value as in their core. So, and if you see their returns over the 15 years, 10
Mm-hmm.
years, they are extraordinary.
Yeah.
I learned a lot in last 4 years there, like how in a smaller group, how you can create value,
Wow.
and how do you make sure that you make sure the quality is, um, at the greater, like, with the speed, you're not compromising the quality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing I
Yeah.
learned there. So I think for them, the dignity, the respect, and the client integrity was core.
Mm-hmm.
And at the Sapient, I learned a lot about the core values. So a couple of core values were like learning mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Always learn, so that you are
Always.
getting ready to for the next. Everyone, like, they encouraged everyone to be a leader. not only the leaders but also like from a, like they always have had a bottom up approach, start from bottom.
Mm.
Even like you are bringing idea, you are bringing a vision, it should come from bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Their core values like taught me a lot of things, like how you can be a true leader,
Mm-hmm.
how you can be collaborative, how you can be transparent, how you can be ethical. And they always focused, like Harris, they also always focused on client focused delivery. So whatever you do, have that customer centric mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things were preparing me to be a great leader, to be a leader who can advocate for the people and for the clients.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, now my clients are the residents of Aurora,
Mm-hmm.
my police department, fire department, right? Public works department.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that, I was getting ready for this role
Mm-hmm.
because it brings its own challenges.
Right.
And when I was at Sapient, I was dealing with different kind of challenges, because if you see my background, non-English speaking person, going into IT, because IT is everything about English.
Mm-hmm.
You won't believe, in 2002, so I started my career in 99 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2001 I started interviewing for outside companies,
Mm-hmm.
like we were like, India is like offshore center, and then eventually people come here and work onshore.
Mm-hmm. There's some point we need to talk about. Wall Street Journal just wrote a great article about the brain drain out of India and
Yes,
talking about that. So
we'll talk about that, but yeah,
fascinating.
so they are like, if you first time talking to people from like UK and US, you won't even understand what they are saying, it's too fast
Mm-hmm.
for that. If you see the context, like where you are and where you are speaking a natural English now, which I can speak, but that time I would have to comprehend the English into Hindi, right? So it was tough for me. So I come
Mm-hmm.
from that kind of like evolution. So Sapient taught me a lot. When I joined Sapient, it was challenging
Right.
because it was the company of great people, like great thinkers, designers, user experience people, like people who can think about next, think about the future. They
Mm-hmm.
were driving the digital strategy for many clients that today you see, like Target, McDonald.
Yeah.
I
So, and this was, you were there 15 years. So that really was the digital ecosystem
Yes,
build. I mean, we went
between
from,
2005
yeah,
to 2022, yeah, like that was the age, right? And
yeah.
I was able to actively not only work on critical um, long term projects, but also I was able to lead many key strategic initiatives. Like
Mm,
I was instrumental in defining the digital strategy for Swiss Bank,
wow.
and then also for the Aeon, Cargill. They are in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
We did their digital transformation, and their
Huge.
modernization of their accounting platform. So that taught me a lot of things. But then, as I come to Aurora, not only to give back but also ready to face the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like city of Aurora, we are at such a strategic location. We are close to downtown Chicago. We are right across on I-88. We have a fiber ring, which
Mm-hmm.
is a great asset.
Mm-hmm.
And this city has everything
Mm-hmm.
if we have a vision.
Yep.
And that's what I'm prepared for, like getting the city to a next level, where we are like probably a cyber hub, like this kind of facility what you have built. I'm telling you, like in few years you will not even have time to like you will be so busy. This is my vision for this
Wow.
city. Yeah.
Really appreciate that. I mean, it means so much because there's the potentials here.
Yeah.
Aurora is a great city. It has so much potential. And I don't think anyone I ever talked to, that's how they feel. Like we have the potential,
Yeah,
but we need the vision.
that's true. Yeah.
It's really great to hear
Yeah.
that. So you did a degree with, or you did something with MIT under leadership. Tell me a little bit about that. What was it? It was leadership for innovation. It was really kind
Yeah.
of,
Yeah, so I have a degree in computer science from India,
mm-hmm,
and when I was with Sapient, and I was like all the time busy with work, right?
yeah,
Traveling across the world, solving the client problems, and I was like always learning
mm-hmm,
from the ground. And I thought, I don't think I need to have another certification or degree, or I need to learn from coaches. uh, that was my mindset. Okay, but then
Mm-hmm.
the COVID hit, and then we had some time.
Mm-hmm.
My kids tennis would stop, so I will have time in the evening, like 5 to 9. Otherwise, I was always busy with them, and now
Yeah.
all the clubs were closed. So then I started thinking about, and then we started a strategic initiative at Sapient also to, leverage people's time and get them like some outside coaching. And then I got in touch with this MIT course, which is leadership in the exponentially changing world.
Yeah.
So how the world is changing, how the leadership,
Mm-hmm.
and how the leadership should also evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got into that program, um, I realized that the education should always be there in the, like, to
Yeah.
evolve yourself as well, like, because it's not only just like about learning, but also it's about your cohort that you learn from.
Yeah.
You building connections, you building a network, you learning from their experiences. So it changed my thinking totally. It like,
Mm-hmm.
then I also evolved. It's, you can learn within what you are doing from your peers, from your team members, from your co-leaders, but also you can learn from outside,
Mm-hmm.
like what's happening in the city now. My views change, like I'm talking to different CIOs. I had a great talk with the city of Chattanooga CIO,
Mm-hmm.
and yesterday I spoke to a CIO from Texas. They also have a similar fiber ring. So I'm like trying to learn from their experiences, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I learned in that MIT course. It was amazing and eye-opening for me. But one thing they 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 had in their course is like, how can you leverage your external network. So you should build an internal network in your
Mm-hmm.
team, in your company. Like when you are in a company like Sapient, which has like 50,000 people that time
Mm-hmm.
when I left. But also you should build external network, and you should contribute in their growth, and then naturally they will contribute in your growth.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can learn from each other.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the key thing I remember from that course, but there were many of
Well, and
different
that's
things.
that's an awesome way to even think about your vision. Like if this is a community that's learning,
Yeah.
you really can't lose. But
Yes.
that often hasn't been, the role of the way the government has operated or education.
Yeah.
But there is this moment right now where it seems like people are open to that, mainly because there isn't really, you know, the new norm, the new idea is
Mm-hmm.
if AI is taking shape, it's that knowledge is sort of a commodity now. Like everything's available.
Yeah.
You can look anything up. It goes far beyond Googling. You can research and research and
Yeah.
research. So it's so fun. It's a big deal. So what has been your biggest surprise in your new role as CIO? What's the biggest thing that, and it could be small, whatever, but something that really affected you?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I'm just thinking about it. I mean, it's like a amount, like number of vendors, like,
Oh yeah.
because the cities don't have their own development team mostly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you deal with huge number of vendors.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I come from a software engineering world where I would manage new development, or of the softwares, mostly like into the engineering side, whether it's data or software or whatever. Here you need to also deal with in a CIO role, because now you are managing entire company or organization. So you also need deal with infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's say at the police department, you are in a meeting with the chief of police, and suddenly, they're not able to project on a TV, that a small device is not working. So they expect that I would know about that,
Mm-hmm.
you know
That's a
about that
lot.
about that device. Or if their
Yeah.
computer is not working, the mouse is like not responding, I would know about it. So those are the things that sometimes surprise you, like, yes, because I bring more strategic kind of experience, more
Mm-hmm.
execution experience, not like infra like,
Yeah.
infrastructure experience. So I hear about, oh, there's a tower on the church road, it has issues, and now we need to kind of technically analyze it, right? We need to like guide the team around it, like we need to make certain decisions. But I feel as a leader, it's not just about you, it's about your team.
Mm-hmm.
You need to leverage the strength of your team. You need to find those opportunities within your team so they can grow, then also by contributing in your growth, and
Mm-hmm.
you're giving them opportunity for decision making.
Mm-hmm.
So I always believe in that, like collaborative decision making is key. And that's why all those surprises
Mm-hmm.
I'm converting into the opportunities, whether it's a vendor management, contract management, reading like hell lot of number of SOWs, or whether it's like these kind of infra related challenges that I'm facing. I'm converting them into opportunity to grow my team, to grow
Mm-hmm.
my leaders that reports to me,
Mm-hmm.
and making them capable that that they are able to help me,
Yeah.
and they have those strengths. It's just like I need to like have believe in them, like yes, they can do it.
That's it's amazing. Yeah, I love the idea that somebody has a device or something and expects that what's going on with that particular
It's
device.
natural, right?
Yeah,
They feel like, okay,
yeah,
this is IT guy.
yeah,
But IT also has like, it's like same thing like with the doctor, right?
yeah.
They
They
have
don't.
they have their own specialization, right? But
Yeah.
then as a leader, you not only need to know the medical field, but also you need to have some skills in the strategy and vision, right? And
Hmm.
road mapping and all that.
So with that, what are your kind of milestones? What are the first sort of trends or technology aspects that you're looking at right now for maybe the next,
For City of Aurora.
yeah, for in phases or whatever?
Yeah. So um I have a framework that I'm working,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it will take time. It's only 2 months. It will take time to shape that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I usually believe in bottom up approach, so I'm working with my team to kind of collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
So I have three guiding principles in order to get that, the
Mm-hmm.
timeline view. So one is collaboration. So collaborate with transparency. So the
Mm-hmm.
second one is transparency, and you need to have ethical behavior any
Mm-hmm.
decision you make. So those are the three guiding principles that I have provided my team. Hey, anything we do, let's use them as a frame. And then I have five priorities that I'm trying to sort of refine them and define them based on the feedback from the team, based on the feedback from my stakeholders, and also based on the feedback from the people like yourself and others like
Mm-hmm.
leaders. So those five priorities are like, number one is data driven decision making.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that data we treat as an asset,
Mm-hmm.
and any decision we make, whether it's John's like city council members, my stakeholders, we leverage data, and my team provides data to them. They have easy access to the data,
Mm-hmm.
and the residents have the easy access to the data.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first goal.
Yeah.
How we can keep data in the center, how we can centralize the data, how can we bring different tools so that the data driven decision making becomes easy, how we can bring data literacy in the whole city. So I think, and I bring a lot of experience in data, and that's why it's core to my heart. And we have a great data team here. They
Mm-hmm.
are ready. We have individuals who are very passionate to unlock the potential of data.
Mm-hmm.
So we are definitely on a right path, and already we are achieving certain things. Like we have some tools, some dashboards, and all that. Like for example, we manage thousands of computers, phones, and all those devices.
Mm-hmm.
So now we are building a data of those, like how we are keeping the inventory, how we are assigning those, and how like we can have the upgrade cycle for
Wow.
these assets. So any decision we make around assets, there and the inventory, we will use data before we make any decision,
Mm.
and we will use those dashboards and all that. Now you will see when you come to my office, any service desk tickets are coming, you will see the data, like how many tickets are being raised every day, how we are doing, how quality service we are providing
Yeah.
based on the feedback that we are receiving, and that is changing um, the perception and the mindset. um, Similarly, like we are providing a lot of data to mayor's office as well, to
Mm-hmm.
make their decision not only faster but also effective
Mm-hmm.
and grounded. So second priority I have is around cloud and AI. So I want to gradually increase the footprint in both the areas.
Mm-hmm.
So we are reducing the footprint in local data centers and making sure we increase the our servers space in cloud so that we reduce the dependency on data centers. We are making good progress on that. But then also AI can play a vital role in our police department, in our public works department, any design we do. Generative AI can play a big role um, to empower our police officers. And I had a ride along. I'm learning from the ground, so I had a ride along, and I'm like constantly in touch with our chief of police. So we are having those dialogues every day. How we can bring technology, how can we bring machine learning and artificial intelligence to equip them and empower them. So I think that's another like very very big area like that's close to my heart. Data and AI, those together, if I am able to like keep doing the way we have done, and in 2 months we have done a lot of work, but that's like something we will carry on.
Yeah.
And again, the feedback is coming from the ground, like how what kind of tools we need to bring. There are three other priorities that I can double click on it, but like I have like five set of priorities that I'm kind of
You're building it,
moving.
and you
Yes.
said it, and it's really important. But it's how you're going to build your timeline. You're
Yes.
2 months in. That's
Yes.
that's a and everyone is. I mean, it's a new
Yeah.
administration, so
Yeah.
everyone's learning. But we are in a really exciting moment. Like it's exciting. How are people? How do you think people are thinking? Like, what's you're seeing how people are thinking about AI,
Yeah.
and then maybe a little bit about how you think about it.
I think I am attending a lot of conferences. I'm talking to many people. I think we all are in the learning phase of the AI. We are learning, and AI is also not solving the problems independently. Currently, it's just like giving you as an like it's like as an aid,
Yeah.
and then you are using that information and making conclusions, making decisions, right? And that's where we are. But more and more I think we experiment on AI. I think AI can sort of help us more and more in those areas. I think it's just a hesitation on the security side, and there's so many tools available, so people are like, when you have so much information, it's very difficult to comprehend. And that's kind of like that is kind of I would say a confusing environment we have around us. Like a lot of CIOs and CTOs are dealing with that, like which tool we should use, whether it's Copilot or whether it's like a tool on bringing the efficiency. Like I'm talking to another vendor. If you hook their tool, which is AI powered tool, it will give you the cost around all your vendors, and they will also suggest you where you can cut the cost. Okay, you have these services that are not even being used, but you are still paying for them. So
Yeah.
that kind of information empowered by AI, because AI algorithm is like kind of constantly, their agents are constantly checking what is being used, what is not being used, and they are like giving you all that information to make your decision faster.
Yeah.
So
So
we are I think in a learning phase, I would say, where we are learning from each other. Hey, what are you using that we can leverage, right?
how do you think that might get down to even like your vision of library create? Like how does AI maybe affect, a 5 or 6 year old that's, in 5 years will be 10, and
Yeah.
it's going to go. You growing up goes quick, but your heart to build libraries for kids that didn't have access to knowledge. How does that maybe tie into AI? Do you see?
That's an interesting question, and it's a balance as well. Like, how do we let so AI is also like a like think about child's brain, right? That you are evolving, you are educating, you are
Yeah.
growing, and then with the library create, what we are doing is like we are trying to grow the brain of those childs,
Yeah.
right? So it's like a parallel stream in my view, right? At one side you are training the technology to become mature, and in one day like that can change the world, right? The other side you are training the brain of a child, making sure they have access to all learning tools so they become independent. So I think it's a parallel stream, but how AI can help those the library create kids is like maybe catering the material for them,
Yeah.
right? Okay, in this area demography, maybe kids would love to learn about these kind of books, so you
Mm-hmm.
cater those kind of books, and your cataloging becomes easy. Your
Mm-hmm.
cataloging becomes like powered by the AI.
Yeah.
And then I think providing certain encouraging ideas, like
Mm-hmm.
how you encourage reading, how you encourage kids to come to the library, how
Mm-hmm.
you encourage their interest. I think AI can provide, those librarians or teachers who are managing these libraries can provide the ideas,
Mm-hmm.
so that they because AI, what artificial intelligence or generative AI is doing based on a prompt, it's getting data from entire world and giving you the best.
Mm-hmm.
So those teachers can also get best of best ideas
Yeah.
how it's working somewhere else that they can also implement. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I know
No,
it's a very
I
interesting question
I
that I
track
don't
with
have
you on
fair
it.
answer.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But it is. It makes me think about your ability, and I've seen it in action. But you are processing, it seems like, information to find the value. Where's the value in this area? Like, with that idea, and I know it's early, but like, where do you see the value of a community that becomes aware of possibility?
Yeah.
Is that's a big, really big idea, but in I've always been a wonder thinker, like, kind of really imagine a lot of things. And it always catches me off guard when somebody says, well, that's all great, but what's the value of it? Well, a lot of times it's just thinking, it's just the idea that we
Yeah.
can explore. But it is hard to take a whole city, because it isn't a corporation.
Yeah.
It doesn't produce a product, but we do produce outcomes,
Yeah. Yeah.
so when we think about like that conversion of value in a community, is it relationships,
I
is it
think it's a very good question, and I
mm-hmm.
was thinking about it as you were talking and you were asking this question,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought about what you have done, like a talk lab.
Mm-hmm.
It's adding value.
Hmm.
It just, we need to be able to tell that story, that hey, there's a value creator in your area, and that is what city can do.
Hmm. Wow.
So what talk lab can do is like can transform the way we interact. Like you are also leveraging AI, machine learning algorithms. You're building your own algorithm, and how the communications are happening in the world, how the interviews are happening, how the podcast of the future will happen, the next from Sapient. I
Mm-hmm.
think you're doing right.
Hmm.
So that is how I see the value. Like for me,
Hmm.
if I can provide, or John, like Mayor John Lash, if we can provide better paying jobs, that's the value add. People
Hmm.
won't even realize, but then they see, oh, there's a big company in my backyard. I don't need to go to downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have those companies, you're not even raising the prices of the houses because more and more people will move close by.
Mm-hmm.
But also you are moving the occupancy rate for the buildings that we have here, right? More and
Mm-hmm.
more people will rent, then they will, more and more conferences we will have. It's exponential change that I
Yeah.
have in my mind. There's a lot of value we can create with that kind of vision, as long as we don't have a self interest into it, and we have an interest for the people, we can do a lot. Like our
Hmm.
public works department, by leveraging AI, they can be more faster.
Mm-hmm.
We are already using it. We are already using data from our GIS division,
Mm-hmm.
which is geospatial. Like
Yeah.
we have maps, and all these whatever you see, like fire hoses and all that, they are already mapped, and we can point them quicker. We are working with the fireworks department, how fast they can move, and how we can provide them the mapping of the building that you know is on fire or whatever. So I think the value creation can happen at micro level, at macro level, and cities, the administration can play a vital role. I don't think it's just status quo that we need to just maintain.
Mm-hmm.
I think now we are in a different kind of thinking, where we should be committed to create value, not only just to maintain the value that you have.
Yeah.
And I think I have that vision, and I'm sure there are more entrepreneur and people like yourself
Mm-hmm.
that we need to surface out, so that together we can create more value. It's not just like me or John or his staff, mayor's office, or my team. I think it's a collaboration that we need to build in this city, right? Where people from different segments are coming, and we are identifying those bright minds. And I know many friends, they are doing wonders in IT. They have startups, and we can encourage them to open office in Aurora, right? To bring
Yeah.
more jobs, right? Nobody wants to go to downtown. You spend like an hour and a half. You
Yeah.
park, like, if you ask me, like, from my earlier days, so I would start driving, let's say around 7. So then I would drive for 20 minutes. I would park at Route 59. Then I would walk to the kiosk. I would pay for the, this is every day's routine, right? You pay for the parking, and then you will take the train. If you miss the train, then next train is in 20 minutes. So you lose time, right? And then you are in the train for 40 minutes to 1 hour, depending on the speed of the train. Then again, you walk from Union Station to your office. So you are spending 1 hour to 2 hour every day, depending how close you live to the station. That time, if you work in close to your home, you can spend in workout, you can work on entrepreneurial activity, you can spend with your kids, with the family. So that is the kind of vision I have. How can we bring those high paying jobs, great companies to Aurora,
Yeah.
and then connect them to the minds like yourself.
Wow. That is such powerful, a powerful and very humble understanding of and brings people to understand what your vision is. But when I first spoke with you, you said something I thought was so important to what that is. You said, I'm grounded. And I've been thinking about that. And I think when someone is grounded, when you can work hard and be generous,
Yeah.
there is exponential, potential here. And to be able to see that and recognize that in people, I think is really, really refreshing. I think people are going to really enjoy hearing that that's where your perspective is coming from. And I think the mayor has done that as well. I mean, he's
Yeah.
super generous with just access, and it's
Yeah.
not. I think you can't tell you how refreshing that is.
Yeah.
Like it's really,
You won't
really
even feel
awesome.
when you meet him like he's a mayor, like, he's like achieved something. He's still like that person that I remember like 3 months back. Still, he's ready to go door to door. He's spending, like, even I come like 8 o'clock to the office, I would still see his car there parked.
Yeah,
And no matter how late I go, he's still there. Whenever I walk to his office, he's always like reading some material, like some contract, or talking to somebody, solving the problem. And he's not taking quick decisions. He's taking very educated decisions. So he's spending a lot of time in understanding the problem, analyzing it, and talking to various stakeholders, getting again the, I mean, I'm so surprised. I have not seen politicians like this, where they are using this bottom up approach,
yeah,
data driven approach. And that's what made my decision very easy to kind of come to city. When I see him like working grounded and down to earth, and also at the same time intelligent. He's
yeah.
so like, he knows what he's like. Ultimately, like, he will talk to everyone, he'll analyze, but he will not always take the decision that, maybe I like him to take. He would take the decision that's right. So he knows like what's the right decision,
Yeah.
but he does a lot of like analysis work around that. So it's impressive, like,
Yeah.
I think I'm really impressed. And he's hardworking, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing that stood out to me was his work in the military as an analyst. Like I
Yes,
thought, well,
exactly,
my
yeah.
goodness,
I can see that now
that's
in
great. Yeah, yeah.
practical, yeah.
It's works.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like who you're. I wanted to ask because it sounds like Elon Musk always talks about a first principles idea.
Yeah.
Get to the point. Like
Yeah.
pick the one. The thing that's holding the project back.
Yeah.
What is that, and address it. But what are some of those big ideas? We talked a little bit about Steve Jobs at one point, but like who are the big thinkers that you follow and kind of emulate and glean from?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think I have, it's not one or two, but I have few, and then I learn. I try to be myself. I don't want to become them. That's how I see it. I
Yeah.
have my own identity.
Yeah.
And but I can learn from others. So I can learn from you, like how you are able to build such a state of the art facility where nobody can even imagine. When I saw your third floor, it's amazing, right? Like this studio, right? It's state of the art. So I can learn from you certain things, like how you were able to have that vision, right? And not only vision, how you did you execute. But I learned a lot from Jeff Bezos, because he allowed other people to talk before he can speak in the meeting. So that's a really great thing, and I try to follow it. Sometimes, when I'm trying to tell people, like in my team senior leadership meeting, I speak a lot, and then I realize that, okay, nobody else is talking, and then I just keep quiet. So if like leaders learn from him, they can do wonders. Let your people talk, they have better ideas. But when you are talking, you are just like not letting the beautiful ideas coming and popping up. Steve Jobs inspires me a lot, because he did something that we never ever thought. I told you earlier in our offline discussion that, no, we were just like all these companies, Motorola, Nokia, they were always playing with the keyboards, like how to have smaller keys, bigger keys, or whatever. Nobody thought that touch screen can, and it was a different experience. It was not the experience that users wanted, people wanted. He created that experience. So sometimes, and this is what I'm thinking in the city, it's not always what residents want, but you need to give them something that can empower them, and then they realize the value. So Steve Jobs is like something, and what I learned from Elon is like that you need to work hard. This guy like works hard. Obviously he has his own shortcomings, what we have seen,
Yep.
as the investors, as the he inspired many people. So but he works hard.
Yeah.
That's something, and that elevated him, like from nowhere to, like, what he has done with the SpaceX. And
He
yeah.
when he said years ago, he said, I reinvented car manufacturing.
Yeah.
And I loved looking into that. Did you read his biography, or did you see?
Yep,
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
so good.
So
I
amazing.
mean,
Yeah.
man, unbelievable.
Yeah.
But just the idea of getting down into the material and
Yeah.
knowing what needs to
Yeah.
happen, and
He pays attention to the details. So I think you can learn from many of these people. Like Lincoln, he did not have experience when he became the president first time.
right.
And if you read his biography, there will be a lot of chaos in the meetings. People will scream on him. People will think like this guy is gonna fail soon, and then still he was able to be there in the history as the greatest president. You can learn a lot how he kept the patience and was listening, and in the end, he was taking what the right decision is. What I tell about John, right?
Yeah.
So, and John also I'm sure he has a long path in the politics, because he's gonna go very far. What I see in him, but Lincoln, you can learn a lot. Mahatma Gandhi from India, Vivekanand, like there was another saint, but Mahatma Gandhi teaches you how your core values, if you remain like truth, non-violence, right, all those things, how can achieve greater heights if you remain grounded. He And I think something like, we are planning to move to a new office, and we are like going through lot of budget deficit and all that. And I think when I think about Mahatma Gandhi, I think like I will tell our public works that, yeah, we can move. We don't need like a shiny furniture or anything. It will come, it's on, as we evolve, right? So that, I think, those are the things that you learn from these great people, if you have them in mind. Otherwise, I would always like have that as a constraint that, oh, we don't have furniture, we'll move later. When it comes, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
a
no.
very practical kind of situation. But yeah.
I think about that all the time, because there's an appearance and then there's the reality. And reality is that you have to work hard, and you can't just think that something's going to be great. You have to make it great. And
Yeah, that's
that
right. Yeah.
is so often we get that in our leaders. Like it seems like you follow a lot of leaders. Do you do like biographies? Is that
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's Walter Isaacson did the Steve Jobs.
Yes,
Andy
I did read that.
Elon.
Yep.
He did George Washington. That I thought was a fascinating one
I
too.
I need to read that.
That was
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
But so this is I'll just ask this question, but um, I don't, this is kind of more philosophical and gets into it, but I think AI is an autobiographical tool. I think that's really what it's doing. At the end of the day, you can either look at everything and, I mean, that's fascinating, right? Or you can look inward and you can begin to put on paper what it is that you're doing to kind of measure
Yeah.
yourself. It's a little
Yeah.
bit like when you're talking about the marathon.
Yeah.
It seems like it's so easy with AI to unpack and to get kind of reflection, a mirror back at you and say, what am I doing here? I thought one of the most fascinating things that AI put back for me was it was very hard to go through COVID for running a business. It was
Yep.
very, very
Very
hard.
hard. Yeah.
And I don't think I ever really talked about that with anybody because there's no one to talk with about
Yeah.
it. But I took financials and I put it in and asked for it to act like a CFO and give me back the response. And there I saw a lot of the instinctual things that I was doing that have gotten us to today, to be here today from where it was.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's autobiographical. Like if leaders really want to know what they're doing, they don't really need, and I know people crave that to get kind of feedback. They want feedback. Like, tell me how I'm doing or how you see this, but it seems like AI is so good with, if you're willing to put yourself into it, it will tell
Yeah.
you in different ways.
I think I feel it's a tool that you can leverage if in a positive direction you can achieve a lot, right? It's I think those kind of things that like like iPhones or any smartphone, right? It can, like if you're a photographer, with the iPhone photos camera, you can like edit, you can do many things. People make reels, videos, they made their livelihood, so it's like a use of it, right? And some people just like they spend hours and hours playing games, right? Some people love playing games, but some people just like unnecessarily spend time, right? If you give it to a kid. So AI is also like that, like where the way you are alluding into it, like you can leverage for many things, or you can also waste your time, right? If you don't have the right prompting. So I think that's where you will see like a lot of people have this fear that AI will take up their jobs, or what we're gonna do in next few years. Oh, next 2 years I'm gonna be done, because anyways AI is coming gradually. But I don't agree with that. I'm like totally in disagreement, because AI is going to create different kind of jobs. You need to also train AI. So when Elon Musk talk about this Optimus robots and all that, you need workforce to create those factories, right?
Right.
Robots or whatever that Amazon is already using. So we will have different kind of, and then the way you are talking about AI or generative AI to be more specifically,
Yeah.
you need people to educate like how to prompt for certain things,
Right.
to get the right meaningful information. What AI can also do is like make you optimum, like optimize your time. Like earlier you would write an email, you would like 10 times read it. If you're like really writing for somebody that you want to impress, 10 times you will put a draft together, you will spend an hour to but now you can do maybe in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You put your raw thoughts and then you can ask AI to optimize. So there are definitely to that like to the autobiography like kind of context.
Yeah.
There's many like such
So many
things you
different
can do.
uses. Have you heard the term or thought about this golden age, that we're coming into this golden age? Like that we're going to have abundance because, we are going to be able to build,
Yeah.
Bezos kind of set the precedent
yeah.
of excellent build,
Yeah.
autonomous buildings. But
Yeah.
like, I'm always surprised, like when you drive around, every car is new.
Yeah.
They're all brand new and they all
Yeah.
have Bluetooth. And now with Tesla's just pumping out
Yeah,
these.
yeah.
And Elon, the thing I'll tie that to is Elon says that Optimus is going to be, in his estimation, the most produced and prolific
Yeah.
piece of hardware that's ever been in
Yeah.
human history.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a humanoid robot
Yeah.
walking around in
Yeah. Yeah.
communities.
Yeah, like
What do you?
you don't need a maid, right?
Yeah,
That will be
or mow
like,
the lawn.
yeah, yeah. Oh my, it's fascinating. I'm really looking forward to it. It can when you go home, the lot you need to do, right? Kind of, um, like when my parents are here, it's and my wife like stopped working because she wants to spend time with them. There's a lot of work in house, right?
Mm-hmm.
From dishes to like, I think that will be amazing, right? To
Yeah,
get that aid in the
yeah,
house, and then also you're having some fun, right?
yeah.
Um, I think we are going into a different kind of world where, um, like some people keep dog, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they some people like are really like animal lovers, and some keep dog because they want a companion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in future these machines gonna become the companions,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's gonna be game changing.
Yeah,
That's how I see it, right?
yeah.
um, think about old people, like they need a lot of time emergency services, they
Mm-hmm.
need a lot of help, right? And for working kids, like their kids, it's very difficult for them to spend entire day with the parents, because they
Mm-hmm.
also they are at that level in their life, they need to do they need to think about their career. I think these robots will play a great role in safeguarding those parents,
Yeah,
taking care of them, right?
yeah.
Nursing and all that. Medical, like
Mm-hmm.
we are not thinking in that area, like
Mm-hmm.
what currently we it's very difficult, the medical. I think another thing these great people, or we should think about, how do we reform our insurance agency and medical sector,
Mm-hmm.
insurance sector and medical sector, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like highly paid, like it's very expensive, but these machines can probably like provide us opportunity to optimize the cost
Right.
and bring value to the people. That's another big area I see, like medical area, where you have a lot of data, and you have a lot of like specialized people that you're always waiting for appointment, and even you're getting appointment, then you're going into cycles of like those appointments,
Mm-hmm.
and then still not getting satisfactory cure, and
Yeah.
then you're paying hell lot of money. I think if somehow AI can transform the medical sector, I'm telling you, that will be the game changing, that will be the real golden age.
Yeah, I believe that too. I think that there's a lot of. I was just over here at Mercy, and I was noticing older people coming in the door, and
Yeah.
one had a caregiver, and I heard her say, "I'm a 24-hour care," and we kind of have that exchange right now, where a person gets older, and then they end up having to spend the money to pay someone to take care of them, and
Yeah,
if you can interrupt that system,
I agree. Yeah.
and
And
even if in some small way,
yeah, it's
would
expensive also. It's
yeah,
very expensive. Like you don't want to spend all your hard-earned money on the medical,
hmm
right? So
yeah,
that's another, yeah,
big
way to
big
think.
deal. All right, well, we've been going here for a little bit. Maybe tell me like something that you just want to share that you think is on your heart that you just feel like is important.
No, I think I would. I just wanted to thank you,
Mm,
um, for building this. This is amazing. I've been thinking since I met you and you gave me a tour, like how great this facility is. I think what goes in my mind, like how do we collaborate more with people like yourself, other entrepreneurs in the city
mm-hmm.
of Aurora, and how we bring them together to to collaborate on ideas and vision that can move our city forward, not only forward to the next level. um, like we can leverage our um, our infrastructure of the fiber
Mm-hmm.
for quantum computing or
Mm-hmm.
for high frequency trading, for many things,
Yeah,
or to bring the driverless cars. We can be that place,
yeah,
because we have nice roads, we are close to highway, like we provide everything. So I think I have a lot of ideas, but I think we need to collaborate more with entrepreneurs
mm-hmm.
who knows the city better,
Yeah,
who have some ideas and who are committed, because these entrepreneurs can only thrive if the Aurora is successful. And if Aurora is successful, not only the Aurora is gonna grow, but these entrepreneurs also gonna grow. So I think it's a mutual kind of mutual kind of growth and value that we will create for everyone together. And that's what I always I'm thinking, like how do I bring people, like smart people together
That's super
and
exciting.
create a vision. Yeah.
It really is, and it's it's exciting. It brings energy to the community in the way that you look at it. And before we wrap up, I just want to ask you, because this fits in it. But your son Nakunj, he's at U of I. He's in the
Mhm.
engineering department, and you know Steve Chen, who was one of the founders of YouTube, was at IMSA and then went to U of
Yeah,
I and then
yeah,
was recruited, basically moved out to the West Coast and
yeah, yeah,
built the platform, which is phenomenal,
yeah,
right? I
yeah,
mean, we all can enjoy that. I think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
such a cool thing. So I remember talking to the head of the department years ago, and he said, I was asking him, hey, would it be possible sometime to meet some of the students
Yeah, yeah,
and maybe, entice one to come up and be an intern for the summer
yeah,
in Aurora? And he said to me, he said, Jimmy, he said, if you were in the room when we have, open days with vendors, he said, there's no air in the room because, you've got Facebook and
yeah,
Apple and everybody, and they're offering jobs to freshmen.
yeah,
So, so what your son has done is not only going through that department, but he's created an organization, an AI tool
yeah.
that he's now looking to find funding. And he was at Y Combinator, which is
Yes, yeah.
prestigious. So just a little bit on your
Yeah, I
son.
think he's amazing. He's his own, like he wants to change the world in his own way. So in fact, he met the YouTube founder, and so like the two YouTube founders, I think from U of I, they every year they bring some of the kids from or students from the
Mm-hmm.
UFI. So he was one of them in his first year. They traveled to San Francisco on behalf of University of Illinois, and then they meet all these, like obviously YouTube founders, but also they meet other CTOs and CEOs. So it was a great trip for him. But yeah, he started, like in his middle school itself. He started with this library create, and he's a computer science student, but he started developing interest into religion and history also, like just to learn the world.
Mm-hmm.
So he's also doing minor in that. He had a vision to create a app or a platform for people who are artists, and then people who can host the artist, like the places that can hold those events.
Mm-hmm.
So he created a platform earlier for that. They were not very successful, but it got they had good number of students. So what they did then, they pivoted that to the universities, where some of the bars, like when they have the events, so the kids will rate the bars, which bar is top,
Mm-hmm.
really hot today.
Yeah.
So that was good. I think they deployed that app, like UFI and a couple of other universities. But then this current startup that he has co-founded with another of his friend is called Safira Hiring,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a virtual interviewer, and it is transforming the HR industry,
Yeah.
like how the staffing agencies are coordinating between the candidates and the companies. And I think that tool is transforming, like whoever is like adopting and using it. I think we are hearing good words, and I think they have few clients and they're grinding. But yeah, they were in a very last round of the buy combinator, where they were told that probably you are too young, you come next year.
Mm-hmm.
But then they got some funding from another venture capitalist called an Entrepreneur First.
Mm-hmm.
So they were in San Francisco last year. They were working closely with them.
Mm-hmm.
They were ready to fund more, but I think some business decision, they decided to pursue their own.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are on journey, like they are having few clients and grinding every day. But I think the whole idea is to transform and create value.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. I think he wants to spend some time in India, learning more, and maybe some other parts of the world. Yeah, I think the whole idea is like how he can leave his legacy. That's what he says. So let's see how it
Yeah.
goes.
But he's a junior, which is, or is
Yeah.
he a senior,
Now
senior?
he's gonna be senior this
He'll
year.
be a senior
Yeah,
this year.
yeah, yeah.
So Sapphira hiring is for any company that wants to move into automation where they can have people that are potential hires can go through an AI
Yeah.
driven interview,
Yes.
help screen people,
Yeah.
and it's just some fast
You can see
moving.
data, all that, how they are performing based on the different traits. Yeah.
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 So check it out if you're a company that is interested in stepping up their hiring, and it's SAFIRA hiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was really impressed with it.
No,
He's
thanks.
moving.
Yeah.
All right. Well, really good to talk with you, Ram. It was just
was-
fun.
yeah.
I hope we get to do this more often.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
also enjoyed.
Yeah.